Hey guys, it's Catherine with the Homestead Dot Guru, and I am here at the Community First Intentional Community. This is a housing development in Austin, Texas for the chronically homeless. They are now the former homeless. We are camping here in a teepee, and we just got a tour of the property, which I am going to show you next. But I wanted to let you know how you could find their website right now, so you don't have to wait till the end. It is mlf.org, and you can find them on Instagram at Mobile Loaves. This is some goat milk soap made by the residents here, from the goats that live here. We have had such an exciting experience visiting this community and getting to know them. Please enjoy the tour up next.
Okay, well, Mobile Loaves and Fishes was started about 20 years ago, right? With Alan Graham and his wife, Trisha Graham. Alan Graham had a vision to our vision or whatever, a calling or whatever the case might be, to feed the homeless. And so they set up a truck ministry at his church, and they sanctioned Alan. They said, yeah, it sounds great. So they started out, one of the trucks will pass as we go by there, but Community First Village is a development of Mobile Loaves and Fishes. After about 8 years or so, I don't know exactly, but Alan Graham had another vision. You might say he's a visionary. And so he envisioned a village or a home or community to house the homeless people that he had been feeding. And I was told that Alan made a point at one time to know every homeless person in Austin.
Wow.
And so that kind of is a sample of his drive, to do what he felt that he was called to do. And so that's how Community First Village was created from Alan Graham. Hey Brian, how you doing? From his vision, and I heard that he had he had a few obstacles to overcome. Nobody wanted that in their backyard, and so people have a way of stereotyping. There was a time that I can relate to that, because I've done the same thing, and of course I found myself on the other end of that stereotyping, so I'm familiar with it. But the neighborhoods now, the neighborhood over here and the neighborhood over the next door to us over here, we're in the same neighborhood association, and sometimes they have their meetings here at our building, and they're glad we're here.
Oh, and, that's awesome.
Anybody that comes to the village, that you can imagine just living in this environment and seeing the beauty of the Community First Village, and just all the assets of the village, just that makes the atmosphere. And that atmosphere is just, like you said, to provide a kind of a secure environment. When you're homeless, sometimes you get stereotyped back further in the woods, and it has an effect. Sometimes it'll bring it does, not sometimes, it'll bring on a sense of isolation, in your spirit or in your soul, and it just kind of compounds, as you get pushed further back into society. And so here, as you look at it, and you can see Alan, he has a sense of beauty. He has a sense that we're all created equal, God's creation. And so we all deserve that same equal respect and dignity. And so a lot of the design here is to bring that dignity back into a person. And Community First Village, it's a kind of extensive check on a person to qualify to live here. And so they want the first number one rule is you're going to pay your rent. It's just not a place to put a roof over your head. We believe that community makes the home atmosphere. As a matter of fact, I've heard it said it's an $18 million mansion. The streets are just hallways leading to the actual bedrooms, which are the units.
I love that.
I know, I thought that's pretty neat. And so all the amenities, we have a barber shop, and we have this garden area and a library. But the number one thing that when you come to Community First Village, they're going to do a budget analysis and make sure and see what you can afford, because like I said, the number one rule is you're going to pay rent. Well, to kind of counter that, they created a lot of micro enterprises. And I mean, there's just a myriad of ways that a person can earn an income here. And so just about everything that you see it's got a twofold purpose. The barbershop, it'll employ, we have contract labor and consignment work. All I do is contract labor, and but the consignment work, so we have an art studio and a forging, blacksmith shop, a wood shop, glass blowing, and
wow.
And so in each one of these different micro enterprise departments, a person has the ability to go to that department, and there'll be like a supervisor or somebody there that will train them, in that area. If people have volunteers come out, and that's kind of what we insist on, is volunteers that come out and just want to be a part of our community. And so they'll come out maybe 3 hours in the morning or afternoon, and they'll work for a while, and they'll take a tour, and they'll get to meet some of the formerly homeless people, our neighbors, and so the community actually is built on stories. Everybody has basically their story that makes the village, that makes the community, that makes that home
Yes.
atmosphere. It's somebody that around 200 now plus population. If we don't see them like for a day or two, we wonder where's so and so at, or and then we find out, and we always hope that it's something that's good. Visited, reconnected with this family, or and maybe having a family visit or whatever the case might be. But the main purpose too is not only to create that home, but to cultivate back in that individual what's lost out there on the streets. And sometimes it's just not lost, but in a sense it's taken from a person,
Mm-hmm.
because you just don't have the resources or the ability sometimes to defend yourself on the streets as you do when you're established.
Mm-hmm.
And so the main main aspects of community is that when a person comes here, they want to stay here permanently. They want to make it their home for life, and so that gives you a sense of security.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a home, man, and it's secured, and I'm on a budget now, I'm working, or whatever the case might be, and as long as I'm paying my lease, I'll always have this home. I always have my neighbors here. And one thing that really got that sense of permanency here is this columbarium. And after I was here for about a year, they said we're going to have a memorial service. So I thought, well, I'll walk down here to see what that's all about. And that memorial service, there are people that have passed here.
Oh, wow.
Instead of being buried in a pauper's grave or county grave or wherever they might go. Now they're interned here in this columbarium. And so the people that were close to them here in the community, they come by, they say, oh, I remember Robert, or I remember Perry, or Cody, or Terry. And so they're always remembered, so their legacy kind of lives on here. And so that's important
amazing.
to the person, I know, yeah. And so they really put a lot of thought into this village. Sometimes when I'm giving tours and I think about it, I thought, wow, this is just, and we're just halfway around the corner.
Yeah, wow.
So, and it's pretty neat when a person's working, it gives them something to do during the day. They start to get that dignity back into them. And, and then that sense of social connectedness, so this is a tiny side of the community, and what we just passed was the RV side. And it doesn't make any difference. It's kind of what a person can afford. It might depend on he might have a disability or something, so he might want to choose the RVs. Of course, he's going to wait a little bit longer. But it really is like affordable housing made possible by our donors. And so the canvas cottages, they'll be the most affordable. And then the rent will increase a little bit on some of your other structures. This is a single man structure here, even though it has that 2-story balcony. And so it's going to cost a little bit more. And then the most pricey is the RVs.
Okay. And, do people get to pick the design of the house, or are they?
That's what another interesting point about Community First. When a person when he gets accepted, he gets on a waiting list, maybe 3 to 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks before he gets here. They'll basically tell him what he can afford, or if he can afford any unit. They'll ask him, what do you want, a camel-sized cottage, one of the microhomes, or RV, and they'll pick. And what they'll do, we have a lady out here that's an interior decorator, and she'll get with that person and say, what kind of motif do you want, or you know, Western or contemporary, and she'll do her best to kind of furnish it in that respect.
That's amazing.
So when the person moves into his place, you know, wow, you know, he has that really sense. And when a person does come out here, we have like a house blessing for every person that comes here in our community table, and it's real neat. It's kind of, they have like bread and a basket and a blanket and a Bible and a candle, and they're all represent different, like the candles for the light, you know, and the Bible should always have the word, and honey, you'll always have sweetness in here.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, that's just kind of not word for word, but
yeah,
kind of how it goes.
Paraphrase.
And so in the micro homes, there's not bathrooms or kitchens, but they are furnished with the ice box, a microwave, crock pot, and coffee pot, and that kind of serves as a twofold purpose too. That you know, actually the way it's designed, you know, it's kind of, we've been hard to plumb and been hard to the fire marshal to have kitchens and stuff to fire. But the thing about it, it also helps the person get back out, you know, come back out.
Oh yeah.
Plus it provides, we have the bathhouses here. It's got bathrooms and a laundry room and showers, private showers. We have 5 of them, and they're kind of strategically located, you know, so it's not far for a neighbor to go. And then we have the outdoor kitchens. And so that allows the neighbor to get out, get with the small groups or whatever, or meet somebody and start to develop, you know, a socialness with, you know, an interaction, kind of back, not actually into society really, because volunteers will come and they might get in the kitchen and cook hamburgers or whatever, and we have a rally hood. It's like a message board. They'll say, hey, there's a volunteer or somebody cooking hamburgers in kitchen 1 or kitchen 2 or pizza or whatever the case might be. And so also volunteers can come out and they can work in the art room or as I said before, the woodworking shop, and they can teach their skills to neighbors.
Wow.
And so what happens when something is made out here, I do contract labor, and there's several contract labor jobs with groundskeeping and working in the garden. And working in, it started out as a maintenance shop for the, you know, for maintenance around the community. Now it's developed into a car care, community car care, where they can do light mechanic work, they can do tire rotations, they can do detailing, and they can even do inspections. Wow, huh?
That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's neat. And so it enables people that's maybe they were mechanics, you know, before they were challenged with homelessness, and so now they can, you know, be employed in the, you know, they feel comfortable. Oh wow, I'm a mechanic.
Yes.
Can I have a job? Yeah, you can have a job. And I forgot to mention, if you want to look, the garden area. So I think we got about, I think it's about 1 acre of gardening, and so every week we have, like right out here, they set up a farmer's market.
Wow.
And it's for the residents to whatever they, oh yeah, look at this garden. It's I grew up on 50 acres, and we had a garden every spring. The lady that runs this garden, somehow she has gardening year round. I don't know how that, I don't know how you do that, but every Saturday at the farmer's market, whatever vegetables, whatever's harvested, they'll just, it's free to the residents here.
Wow.
Come back with a bag, and so you might think of it like this: on the streets, you're probably not eating a lot of veggies, you know, especially fresh picked veggies. So that gets your diet, you know, kind of helps. Gives you that person a better diet, and just like with, and another thing like the barbershop or you know, a person gets their hair grown, they feel better about themselves. And in the library, they'll read a book and they'll start to get their mind generating, and you know, and so everything has like a multitude of purposes. It's
Beautiful.
just like, okay, there's a barbershop, I'm gonna get my hair cut, you know. Here's a garden, you know, okay, good. But so, okay, and then so it's just awesome the way everything is kind of designed and how it just kind of develops and how it kind of grows into, you know, the multiple purposes that, you know, okay, we see this person now, look, their hair's groomed, and then, so we also have, let's see, what would you call it? Rehabilitative services. You know, when you're on the streets, you sometimes, I know I did, turn to alcohol and drugs just to cope with the environment. You know, mosquitoes, hot weather, rain, or cold, and you know, sometimes you think, well, I'm not, you know, see a person flying a sign or something on the street, I'm not gonna he's gonna use it for drugs. Well, it probably is. It's probably might be 20 degrees tonight or 110 degrees, you know, and so but here, of course, you know, people come in. I came in here and I was still, you know, kind of shut up in my home and didn't really want to get out, you know, and just really kind of suspicious or really kind of, you know, what's this community or neighborhood or what's this set up all about? And then I found out as time went by that, you know, what all the structure of it was made for, to develop a person. And if you want that development, you're in the right place.
Beautiful.
And it just kind of reaches out and pulls you in. That's you know, one of the, it's kind of like in the atmosphere. That's where you'll see a lot of areas, kind of like rest areas or picnic benches or tables or swings or, you know, hammocks and stuff. And so, and that just creates an environment of goodness. Even the streets are Goodness Way and Grace and Mercy Street.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so, if you want to see it down in and so once a year we have a lot of events, and that brings people, and just like the community inn where I work, it brings people in. So somebody might have a convention or something in Austin that they're coming to, and then they see that they go on the Airbnb and they see that we're kind of on the city limits. They don't have to stay in town. And then when they're not at their function or whatever, they come out here, they walk around, they start to talk to people. So even the community inn, it has that purpose for like a income coming in, and then people finding out what Community First Village is all about.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And so I think this is going to be another Michael home, but they decided to make it into a chapel. And that's Chaplain Ed, him and his wife, they have like a couple functions Tuesday and Friday. They call it Jesus and Java. And so they make donuts or tacos or stuff and coffee, so people can come out and gather, you know, and people that are new here can come and get to know other people. And
beautiful.
Kind of.
Now, I've heard dogs barking, so people can have pets here.
It's just like any place where you might go. You pay a dog deposit and make sure that the dog's got his shots and stuff. And so so it's encouraged, you know, for dogs and residents and neighbors to have cats and stuff. So this is the blacksmith shop.
Wow.
I think it was just like one section, and it's grown to what you see now. But once a year we have like an annual blacksmithing competition, and so they send out invitations around the country for accomplished blacksmiths to come out and compete. And it's neat. They got like a certain time, it's like a reality TV show, you know. 3, 2, 1, you know, turn in your whatever you make. You can see some of the stuff that's been made before. And so it's pretty neat what they can. And another thing they can make. Oh, look at this. What's this? Ooh, that's pretty neat. Oh, it's the first I haven't seen anything like that. Wow, that's awesome. And so what they make here can be like functional, or it can be for like art. And they make bottle openers. That's one of their one of their targets here, and they sell them in the community market that we have here.
Amazing.
And so everything that sells in that community market, that resident, he gets 100% of that profit. And so you can imagine, okay, I can have help pay my rent, or I can just go out and maybe buy some new clothes or something.
Yeah.
So that's what's neat about that. And so last year, I think they said it was over $450,000 that were generated here as income for our neighbors here.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so, is there any questions that you're?
Not so far. I mean, I asked about the pets and people picking stuff out.
Okay, y'all want to see the goats and the chickens?
Yeah.
We got like it's the animal farm basically, and the donkeys. We don't have the donkeys anymore. I don't know. They couldn't pull their weight, or
They're kind of a pest, honestly. Okay, well, I'm gonna pause till we get to them.
With their community, basically. I mean, it's just not that this is community and this is homeless. Community and community is homeless, and people are not homeless. It's still all community.
Yes. Oh, hi, baby.
Oh. Hey, Cody. I guess we didn't say his name. He said we knew his name.
He says, "Who are you?"
So, this is some of Debbie's personal chickens.
Oh.
Hey, David. How's it going? So, but let's see. Yeah. So we found out that one of the reasons for homelessness is kind of stated that it's profound, catastrophic loss of family and community. And so here at Community First, it gives community the opportunity to come out and get involved, and I think that the business section of town that are the community, I think they realize that it's a great investment. The human being is a pretty good investment.
Yes, best.
But the thing about it, but seriously, instead of paying out money for like incarcerations and healthcare and this and that, now you're looking at probably approximately 200 people that are earning that Alan's labeled a dignified income. And out of that 200-something people, instead of having to pay for, like health expenses and whatever the case might be, now you got 200 that are paying taxes.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, or can pay taxes if they want to. So in the animal farm, I think we have enough chickens now that every Saturday at the farmers market I was telling you about, everybody gets like half a dozen or so eggs,
That's amazing.
So yeah, that's cool. So they take the goat's milk, and there's like a 3-part formula, and I've never done it, but they make soap out of it.
Yeah.
And they can make soap and lip balm, and the ones that do that, I think it takes 25 or 30 days for it to cure, and then they'll put it in the market, and then they sell it in the market. I got some bars though. It's great soap, moisturizing.
Well, I want to buy some.
Huh?
I want to buy some.
Well, okay. Well, that's our last stop at Community Market.
Okay.
This is all a setup to.
Oh wow! Look at this.
Yeah, so.
Oh my word. Oh, it's beautiful.
And I don't know if you noticed, but around the perimeter of the property and scattered throughout the property are like fruit trees, mulberry, pear, and peach trees, and man, I just can't wait for that season when they all start producing.
Oh yeah, this is incredible.
Veggies and our fruit.
You guys got bananas in here.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this papaya? This one? I feel like my friend's growing papaya.
Yeah, you'll have to.
These look like citrus right here. Yeah, orange. Oh, they're labeled, I see.
So you seen all the in front of the community inn, those units, that radius on your left when you come in, all the horse troughs with the plants and stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I do. I kind of take care of those.
Okay.
And so it's like, you know, I said, okay, I want to learn all the names of these species, all these. Yeah, right.
There's an app, if you have a smartphone, called iNaturalist, and you can take a picture of a plant and upload the picture, and it'll find
iNaturalist, is it a pretty good one?
Oh yeah. So these are Airbnb.
There were 4 units, micro homes, that also are available.
And that's part of how y'all earn an income for the properties through the Airbnb?
Yeah, I don't really know if it earns anything, but
it at least gets people out here.
it's got that twofold, you know, functionality to it.
And then the bus stops right here on the property.
Yeah, with the bus ride. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So that's nice.
And so you can see this is 20, I always get mixed up, 27 or 24, and then that's 27 or 24 acres over here. So actually we're 51 acres.
Wow.
And I think the maximum capacity is 250 on this side. It'll be 305 or 10. And on the other side, we're even going to have like a 100-man hospice facility.
Wow.
So, as I said earlier, people are really interested in, you know, what can be achieved when the community comes together and you know, sponsors the community. So, oh yeah, we forgot the market the last time.
Oh yeah, let's go see. And so this is where the goods are sold.
Yeah.
That people make here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us on this tour of the Community First Village here in Austin, Texas. I highly recommend that you come stay out in one of their Airbnb properties. They have tiny homes you can stay in, or these teepees which can accommodate groups as big as 14. And you can please follow us online, join our email list, www.thehomestead.guru. You can follow me on Instagram at rewild.child. And again, to remind you of their website, it's mlf.org, and you can find them on Instagram at Mobile Loaves. Thank you for tuning in.